Hi, everybody. I'm Cliff, and I have MS.
And I'm Andrea, and I just got out of the shower.
And you
But
don't have MS.
no, I don't have MS, but I care about MS because you have MS,
MS.
and I'm his wife, Andrea, if I didn't already say that.
20 years?
Oh,
20
yeah.
years?
Next week, 20 years.
20 years.
Yeah.
Gosh.
That's not what this episode is about, though.
Okay.
What I wanted to talk about today is something that I think we've been silently going through, and I failed to recognize the basics of it, right? So I know you're like, "What are you talking about?" So
Yeah, just side note. I know nothing about what she's about to talk about. She said, I want to do an episode with you today. Here we are.
yeah.
Okay.
So I've been feeling like
With your pants on. I want to do an episode with you today with your pants on. So here we are. So I don't know what this is about.
okay. Anyway, oh my gosh. Um, I've been feeling really off lately, like last couple days. Okay, this whole week. It's Friday. I can't even believe it. Um, this whole week. And it frustrates me when I don't know why I'm feeling so off. It's like I have a few feelings about it, but there's no like roadmap. Like why? Like I can't point at something and blame something. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, what is this feeling? Like, what is happening? And then I thought, I really just need to go back to the basics and go back to that 5 stages of grief circle-y thing that has been made famous for I don't know how many years. Anyway, because like in Pirates of the Caribbean, it's not rules, it's guidelines.
More like guidelines, if you
Yes,
will.
yes. Because I feel like the more, and I mean, with all the therapists that I know, and like all of the people I know that know about feelings and all of that sort of stuff, is like the more you can identify what you're feeling, how you're feeling, why you're feeling it, the easier it is to gonna be to like walk through that feeling, right? Like not try and push it down like I normally do or that sort of thing. And so I'm like, oh, I need to go back to those guidelines and just see where I am and like why am I there? So just to recap, what I'm talking about is the 5 stages of grief. Nobody has died. However, I think that this is applicable to like everyday life, especially if you live with a chronic illness, and if you're caring for somebody with a chronic illness, I think these are really good guidelines to like kind of come back to, right?
Yes.
And um, just to go over what they are. So there's 5 stages. This is
I'll count them.
okay. First one is denial.
Denial.
I would say that you in particular, love to live in denial.
I definitely live in denial. Not a river. It's not a river. It's a thing.
Yeah, I would say, like, there's different stages in which people are prone to, like, hanging out in more, right? Like, I think that I definitely also like to hang out in denial, but you definitely hang out in denial.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
most of the time knee deep, chest deep, elbow deep, here deep in denial
Yeah.
with the MS. Okay, I'm sorry. Keep going.
No, it's true. No, it's fine. I just want your perspective on, like, what you're going through and how we kind of flip-flop, which I think is such a unique thing that happens to us. Like, I don't know if it happens to other couples or whatever, but you and I just flip-flop between all of them, and it's like, "Whoa!" It's sort of like this crazy thing that happens. So the next one is anger.
Okay. Okay.
I tend to have a lot of swear words when I'm angry, so that's when you know I'm in anger.
Yes.
So I'm not feeling anger right now.
Okay.
What about you?
It's hard to say. I did a 2-mile walk last night. I didn't tell you where I was going. I just went out on a walk because I didn't want anybody going with me because I needed to work through some stuff in my head. And I could tell for the last week that she was really, really off. And one thing I've learned after 20 years is even though I'm an engineer, I can't fix this. And it is very, very bad if I try. I can assist, but I can't fix. And the best way I can assist is by listening. But there are times when I go into the engineering part of me where it's like, I have got to figure out what's going on and I have got to fix it. And that is not productive. So I went on that walk last night, which I didn't tell you about, but you found out because I was gone for like an hour talking to a neighbor.
I need to put a tracker on you because, like, seriously, I do worry about you like passing out in the middle of nowhere.
I get that, but it was partially raining. It was like 60 degrees. I was fine, and that's one of the reasons I went. But I had to work through this stuff, and I didn't want the kid coming along because he loves to go on walks, and I just needed to work through this stuff. And I was angry. I'm angry at my condition a lot, especially during the summer. I think like 2 weeks ago, I laid down in bed when we came home. And it was like I'd have been like 90 degrees or 95 degrees outside. I'm like, I hate this. I hate everything about this. I was so freaking pissed. That was the
Yeah.
morning I went off when we were at breakfast
Yeah.
because we had to sit outside the breakfast place because it was super crowded. It was super hot. All of us were miserable, but like I let the MS get the best of me and I just went off on a freaking tangent that was completely unreasonable. And yes, I apologize to everybody that was at the table when we got home and I finally managed to cool down. But I tend to have those anger moments more outlandishly and publicly during the summer.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, when I'm not in denial, I'm angry about the situation. Damn it, I want a do-over. I want to live without this goddamn disease.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting angry about it right now.
I know, I could see.
It pisses me off.
And it's not even hot in here.
It's not even hot in here. It's a relatively cool day.
So, but I think that that's where things get a little bit interesting and complicated, right? Because, like, when you look at the 5 stages of grief, it's like a thing happened, and therefore you will kind of go through this, right? But with MS, like, a thing can happen, and you're also just dealing with the long term ups and downs of having this disease. It's like you're just always going to have that line, right? Like that just sort of goes all over the place. Plus, you're going to add on your day to day, your flares, your relapses, big choices that you have to make, like all of those things. So it gets messy, like
Yes.
in those stages. And it's like, well, I'm pissed off about this disease right now. I'm depressed about the fact that like I have to go on another DMT. Like I'm in denial. Maybe I don't have to go on to another DMT. And that's actually the next stage because there's like the bargaining.
Number 3.
Yeah.
Bargaining.
Number 3, bargaining. And this happened. And when you do this, it like makes me so sad, right? Because like I know what you're doing. It's like, oh, he's bargaining now because we've decided Mavenclad. Mavenclad is going to be the thing. And then the other morning, you're like, can we talk? And I'm like, oh no, here comes the bargaining. Like like, can we talk is always maybe we should think about this a little bit more, or maybe we should postpone it, like those types of things. And I'm like, oh no, like, but then I should have known and I should have realized and gone back to like this basic framework of like, this is just a part of it. This is like what you're going to do in order to process and get through, to acceptance of it. But like in that moment, I, as the caregiver, I'm like, oh no, like he legitimately could back out of this. Like I'm trying to like pick my words wisely, like you're a toddler on the edge, of having a meltdown type of thing. And I'm just like, and I'm like, no, like I don't want to go through bargaining, but it is just something that you have to do.
Yeah. The bargaining and I most of you out there are living with MS. That's why you've subscribed to the channel. I feel like a lot of us, especially when I speak with my friends that have MS, I feel like we're stuck in the bargaining zone with this. Like initially we're pissed at the disease. We're pissed at the situation and that never really goes away. But as time goes on, like, and I've mentioned this in many of my episodes, after that, the initial 2 years after my diagnosis, where I was a horrible person because I just wasn't accepting what was going on, every day is full of bargaining.
Mhm.
Like, I'm bargaining with MS, who's relentless.
Mhm.
I'm bargaining with you guys because of my MS.
Mhm.
And I talk about, everybody talks about being an MS warrior, and this is a battle we're going to win. Damn it, it's not. It's not a battle I'm going to win tomorrow. And I'm angry when I wake up and it hasn't happened when I think of it that way. I want to think of it as like it's a compromise. And
Yeah.
compromises require bargaining.
Mhm.
And I just get so angry at that every single freaking day.
Yeah. Me too.
So it's a little bit of everything. Like, I'm going to
Mhm.
deny that I have to bargain with this thing, and I'm going to
Yeah.
deny that I'm angry about this thing.
Yeah.
But deep down, I'm angry and I can no longer be in denial. And I'm angry that I have to bargain with you and put you in that position
Yeah.
because now we're both bargaining with MS.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
MS, get out of our lives. Like, we
yeah.
don't need you complicating things, but that's not going to happen. So every day is a compromise and a bargaining.
Yeah, I mean, I think that yeah, one thing when I learned about the whole 5 stages thing, like, it was presented to me, like, in a circle where it had, like, a completion, right? Like, you get to the end of it, and it's always, like, listed out in a way where you feel like it's this linear process where it's like, "Oh, first I'm gonna go through denial, and then I'm gonna go through anger." And that's just not the case. Like, you can have 3 or 4 of those things at once. You can go from one to the other, then back. Like, you can have all of those things. And if you're not identifying it and dealing with it properly, you're never gonna get out of those stages.
Right?
And that's what, like, this week, I'm like, God, like, I'm so depressed. And that's the next stage because number 4, depression, that is the one I love living in. Like, I am prone to living in depression. Like, that is absolutely the case. And so, like, when it comes to depression, I'm like, yeah, I'm a professional at this. Like,
Professionally depressed.
I'm like so good at depression. Let's stay in that stage. I know how to do depression, but pissed off that I'm depressed. And I don't want to be depressed anymore. And I'm like, why am I depressed? And that's why I went back to this framework because I'm like, oh, yeah, like we're doing all of the things. And if I can't just come out and say, like, oh, yeah, like what we're going through right now is depressing AF, then how is that doing me any good if I'm just like tired all the time, you know?
Ugh. Yeah, and your depression, I mean, after 20 years, there's really nothing I can do to help with it.
Yeah.
It's a process you have to go through,
Yep.
and all I can do is kinda just step back, and I can help with things like, I can make dinner, and I can take the kid off your hands for a while. I can do the manual things to help you go through your process, but I've learned, like, don't step between Andrea and her depression
Me too.
because then it turns into anger and it comes after me, and I'm sorry you get depressed about this because it is super depressing.
Yeah. Well, and then like we were talking earlier on in the video where it was like, it's crazy how you and I will flip flop, right? And I tend to be like I'm going to call it early adopter of emotions. So like I'm usually like this is the joke between us is like I'm like 3 days ahead of Cliff in like realizations of things. And so I'll be like, "Oh man, like this super sucks." And then like the next day I'll be like super depressed and then he'll be like, "Oh man, this super sucks." So like he's like pissed off, I'm depressed. It's like real it's a real circus of emotions around here.
Yeah, you're always 3 days ahead.
Yeah.
You're 4 years ahead in maturity, but 3 days ahead in, like, reactive, emotional
Yeah.
stuff, And we know when it's coming because I'm like, oh, she's depressed, which means I'm gonna be depressed.
Yeah.
And I did something the other day though, 2 days ago. I saw that she was in the midst of her depression, and I thought, well, both of us can't be depressed at the same time because nothing is going to get done, and we're just going to be horrible people. Gavin's going to hate us both. And so I thought, I'm going to outsmart depression this time. And I warned her. I said, I'm going to take a double dose of my anti fatigue medicine, which I never normally do because I won't sleep at all if I do that. And it really peps me up for at least 2 or 3 hours. And I can like pretend like I'm not depressed because I'm just wired. And so I did that and I got us through the day. And then it backfired because then I didn't sleep all night. And then the next day we were both depressed and super tired. It was like this train wreck. So we're just moping around the house. We dropped the kid off at camp and we're like, oh, it's just terrible. And it's easy to like blame it all on MS, but that was just really poor decision making out of desperation.
No, I get it.
And it doesn't help the depression on either one of us, but
Yeah.
the depression is, I think the depression from MS is actually much harder on you than it is on me because I
Huh.
forget about how bad I had it last week.
That's a solid point.
Whereas,
Like,
like, you remember, I
yeah.
forget stuff all the time. And I
Yeah.
really forget about the bad days because I try not to remember them. And the bad days are really, really bad because I know last week I had one day that was horrible. I don't remember what I did during that day, but I remember what she did. She took the kid
Yeah.
to the children's museum
Yeah. With friends.
with friends.
The thing is
When
you're
it's within itself can be quite depressing.
yeah,
But no, you guys had fun.
we did have fun.
So I heard.
No, I mean, like, I appreciate that you recognize that because it the memory issues with MS are like, oh, they're forgetful, but it's like the emotion forgetting your emotions is is like a totally different type of forgetful, right? Like
Yes.
it's totally different. It's like, oh, like I was like this wave of emotion, but I don't remember the wave of emotion. That's and I'm like, I do because I'm now like a hot mess and I'm, like kind of picking up the pieces from that tsunami of emotions. And it's it's good to recognize that to be like, "Oh, no, like, you were actually feeling, like, you felt that way 3 days ago," or, like, that sort of thing. I think that it's helpful to be able to be like, "Oh, yeah, I was," and trust your partner, hopefully you have a trustworthy partner that's like you'd be like, "Oh," instead of, "No, I wasn't," you know?
Right, right, right,
Yeah,
right, right.
like a kid, like, "No, no, I wasn't. I wasn't, like, that's not me," or especially men, unfortunately, kinda have the ego, like, "No, me."
Because we're big and strong. We can handle it. No, we can't.
It's just like,
Way more put together than I am, and females are in general. I just like you guys really know how to deal with the crap like we don't.
well, I mean, that's a whole different topic.
It is.
But
But can I jump in here on this depression thing
yeah,
and let everybody know what we've learned? And this has taken a long time. So this is a shortcut for others out there. And I'm not
sure.
saying it's a shortcut. I'm
This
not
is
saying
gonna be good.
I'm not saying your relationship is anything like ours, but we know each other really well. And there was this critical turning point with this depression thing where after I was diagnosed, I was basically saying, I can deal with this, I can get through this, and blah, blah, blah. And we let that ride for a couple of years where we're like, we both lived my delusions that I could get through this. I was going to have a depressing day and I was just going to power through it. And then there was this flip. We're like, I remember sitting down and talking about this, and you're like, I don't think we should try to power through these days. And I remember you saying, I think you should just go do what you want to do and don't be involved with us today and work through your issues if you want and see if that works for you. And that really did. And that was like a huge turning point. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm all right not being all right today.
Yeah.
And as crappy as it feels to be alone in that moment, like it's cleansing because I feel like I don't have a responsibility to make sure I'm with you guys all the time and that the negative depression feelings are not wearing thin on you guys.
Yeah.
And so it was I guess in short, was like she knew that my therapy would be just step back and let me be me and
And talk to a therapist.
talk to a therapist, not her. Like,
Yeah.
you're having a bad day, call somebody else.
Yeah.
Let somebody else take the garbage out. Pay somebody else to take the garbage out. That was a huge turning point because it's only been, I mean, after 6 or 7 years, it's only been recently where I'm like, you know what? Today's going to be a shitty day and I'm just going to have to be okay with that.
Yeah. And I can see what you're saying. It's sort of like I can have a shitty day, or we all can have a shitty day, and I can drag you into this hole with me. And we want to be empathetic and be there for you. But it's almost like there's not a lot we can do other than get out of your way. Like,
Right.
and
Right.
then that way we're both like not suffering, from that. And it's just coping mechanisms, right? Like
Hmm.
finding our own way. Gavin and I like to go on a lot of mom kid dates. It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, we make it work.
And if that technique is carried over to the rest of the family, like my parents will call, they live on the other side of the country, and they'll say, "Oh, you're not looking too good today." And I'll say, "Yeah, I'm not feeling too good." Okay, call us when you're feeling better. It used to be, "Well, what's wrong? What's not right? Have you
Yeah.
done this, this, and that?" Now it's like, call us when you're feeling better.
Yeah.
And I might not talk to them for 2 or 3 days, and I'll eventually call them when I'm feeling better. You don't want to talk to me when I'm in that state, right? You don't want to deal with
Yeah.
because you know how it is with your MS. Your body hurts, your brain hurts, your vision sucks, everything freaking sucks.
Your
And
skin hurt.
your skin hurts. You don't want
Yeah.
people touching you. Like my kid loves to come up and give me hugs, but he knows on those days, don't do that because it's not an enjoyable experience.
Yeah.
I'm like, you can hug me here on the arm. There, right there. Right there. That won't bug me. But like anywhere else, I just don't want to be touched because it's like tingling and it's achy and it's burning and it's ah. So that's a tool
Yeah.
that we use.
Yeah.
Like
What was it?
basically, let
I'm
me.
asking the guy with memory.
Yes, the tool is let the guy going through the depressive episode or the lady going through depressive episode have their moment.
Yeah. Like, don't try and deny the depression. And that's kind of what I was doing this week. And now I'm actually already feeling better. Thanks everybody for just sitting there and listening.
The comments that everybody
Yeah.
left on the last video, she was really going through them and going, "Oh man, this is very powerful," because you guys left some fantastic comments and some great feedback. In fact, I would have to say that the feedback that I'm getting on my channel is probably really giving you a lot of insight into what the whole community feels like.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
it's certainly not a singular case here.
Yeah. No, I mean, every time I read through the comments or listen in on your like MS support group calls, I'm like, wow, it is,
It's a little heavy.
it's heavy and it just shows like how different this disease is for everyone. And that like advice or like anything, like it doesn't necessarily apply, right? You can't just like stamp out the same thing for everybody. But I think the one thing that we have found is that we're all stronger together if we talk about it.
Yes.
And like that's like the one thing that's universal. Like we just need to talk about this. We need to not compare ourselves to others. We need to advocate for others and we need to listen. I think that's what this is. And I think that brings us to number 5, which is acceptance.
Number 5.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Acceptance. What are we accepting?
That we can't control everything, I think is what that is. I think it really is like the acceptance that like these are emotions and they're okay. It's okay.
And I'll number 1 that. I'm in denial that we can't fix everything. No, I'm now
Well, number one.
Trying to accept that we can't fix everything. Because as an engineer, you know me,
Yeah.
like I want to fix everything.
Yeah, I know you do.
And I know there's a lot of people out there that are married to engineers or were married to engineers because you've left comments on my videos. We are just programmed to automatically go into fix mode. It's the worst possible thing you can do with a relationship with MS and other people.
Yeah.
It's just not fixable. If it were, we wouldn't be taking drugs for it.
Yeah. And I think that it's okay to like, you're not going to land on acceptance and stay there forever. Right? Like it's not like, oh, I am finally complete with my 5 stages of grief. It's like you may feel acceptance today, but not tomorrow. But as long as you can identify where, like where you are and you're not denying those emotions from actually like making making their course go through you and trying to take baby steps to get through them, then I don't even know what I was saying.
Well, I'll add to that.
Okay. Your hands are so
Yeah,
cold.
yeah. All the blood is here. Here. It's not here. I don't know about you guys at home, but when I'm having a day and I'm having an MS day because I didn't sleep well last night, I get these crazy, and you can't see them because of the studio lights. I get these crazy black rings under my eyes, and I look like
Let me see.
Andrea says I look like death. You can't see them in this
Yeah.
light.
Yeah.
But out of this light, people will look at me in the store like, dude, that guy's on something. And I am on something. I'm on a lot of things. I'm just trying to function. Okay, let's get back to this acceptance thing because
Yeah.
I just want to touch on one more thing with the acceptance thing. Here's where I have a problem with the acceptance, stage 5. When we plan on doing something as a family, and I wake up in the morning the next day, like we've made plans to do something, and I'm really looking forward to it. And the next day, my MS is like, yeah, I'm coming along for the ride. And I'm like, the hell you are. But it's not up to me and it's not up to us. I have a really hard time accepting the fact that this toxic thing can be like, I am just going to completely screw up your whole day. And there is nothing you can do about it. And you have to accept it.
Yeah.
And that really pisses me off.
Yeah.
Causes number 2, anger.
Yeah.
Because number 1 doesn't work, denial. Number 3, I can't bargain with it. Number
Yeah.
4 will show up, depression. Because I'm like, guess what, guys? When I'm talking to her and the kid, I'm like, you guys are going to go do what you're going to do without me because I'm flaring today.
Yeah.
And I have to accept it.
Yeah.
And that sucks.
Yeah. But you accepting it and and figuring out that like staying behind is better than pushing through has helped Gavin and I because we're not worried about you the whole time. You're not like, because when you used to push through it, right? Because you really wanted to be there and you really wanted to hang out with us. And we also wanted that. You were kind of a ticking time bomb that we had to like constantly, think about like, is our time up? Like, are we done? And that's just like not something an 8-year-old, wants to go through is like, like, is my fun over because of dad, type of thing. And he does still have to go through that from time to time. But because you accepted that, like, you're probably going to have this aura, about you that's going to make everybody nervous and sort of on edge that we've all said, okay, like it'll be fine, we'll make do on our own and we'll take lots of pictures and videos and we'll tell you all the stories and it'll be fine.
And then when you get home, you'll pretend like you didn't have as good a time as you actually did. I'll just leave it on this. One way I deal with that now when I'm having one of those bad days is even if I'm feeling absolute crap and I feel like I can't move, I still, even if it's just walking to the mailbox, I go out, I get just a little bit of exercise,
Yeah.
and then I push it a little bit more, not a lot, just a little bit more every single time. And I always start feeling better. Like last night, I went on that 2-mile walk late at night, and I felt much better when I got home.
Yeah.
That's my process.
This whole framework is just a touchstone for me. I like to get back to the basics when I'm feeling out of sorts and I feel like I shouldn't be feeling out of sorts and it pisses me off that I'm out of sorts. I'm like, okay, let's go back to the basics. Like freaking Psych 101 class in college. What are those 5 stages of grief? What have I gone through so far? Where am I at now? And I think that that could be helpful for some people just to like realize that, I mean, you're constantly going through at least one or two of those things, and it's not linear, it's all over the place. But the more you can accept that and like really see it for what it is, the easier it's going to be to, I think, move on and go through what you need to go through in order to get to acceptance and hopefully, have some peace.
Yeah. Even if it's just a little bit at a time.
Yeah.
There's gotta be a break in the storm.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep. Just to like hit home, like I think that caregivers get so wrapped up in the other person that they're caring for that they forget about themselves. And I know that I'm very classic at doing that. And then I get burnt out. And that's just sort of the way like my unfortunate cycle can go. But I think the more we can talk to each other and talk about that, the stronger we're all going to be.
I agree with that. And also one thing that we've done recently is I've really tried to, like, push her out to go do things without me, with
Yeah.
friends and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Like, she needs her time, and she needs not to be around me. Um, she needs a level of sanity around people that are capable and not constantly in pain that she doesn't have to worry about because she's like, now you're kind of pre-programmed in that mode.
Yeah.
They're like, "Are you gonna
I
be okay? Are you gonna be okay?" And I'm like, and even at this point, I'll say, "Don't worry about me," which she knows is bullcrap. You have to worry about me. It's just the way it is. It's just second nature now.
yeah. Yeah.
So I'm trying to like get her out to go with friends and do things, and it's slow progress,
Yeah.
but we're getting there.
Yeah. We are. We are. But let's do it together. I think that this is a helpful. Hopefully, you found this helpful. Um, Send this to people who are caregivers, even if it's outside of the MS world. I think the more that I mean, I would love to connect with caregivers. My dream is to have like a network of caregivers where we can like all go on vacation together and we all understand each other.
That's
You
really
know what I mean?
interesting.
Like that's my dream. Like I would love to go like plan trips with other people that understand like what I'm going through. So I'm willing to go on camera and talk about how depressed I get and like all of those things and air out that laundry if it means that I'm going to connect with people that understand.
So that's good. I like that. So basically, you take a caregiver cruise, and then the caregivers drop off all the people with MS that they're caring for on another pier and leave us on an island by ourselves while you guys go out and have fun. It sounds like a plan to me. So you don't have to worry about us. You can't get back to us.
Good luck.
That's like the best case scenario.
Oh my gosh. All right.
All
Should
right.
we
Well,
end this long, long episode? I guess it's kind of like a podcast now.
yeah, it's kind of podcasty, but a lot of you said on the last episode that you would love to see more of a caregiver's perspective. So we thought we would talk more about this because it is very involved. So if you enjoyed this episode, you know, comment below. What tools and resources are you using to work with your spouse, your caregiver? What have you learned that maybe we could share on I don't know, our next
Yeah.
podcast, whatever we're going to call it? I don't even know if this is a thing, but if you enjoyed it, please let us know, and we will keep up at it. We will keep at it.
Yeah.
We will keep at it. Um, this is a very important part of our relationship. I mean, like it is our relationship. And I think the relationship is one of the hardest things with multiple sclerosis, any relationship,
Yeah.
because I have a relationship with Miss MS, who's like the super toxic person in my life. She's not going anywhere, and everybody else has to deal with her.
Yeah. And on that note,
Yes.
let's say Goodbye, and thank you for watching.
I'm Cliff. That's Andrea, and we are out.
Yeah.
Ready? Go.